Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Guns for Hire from You Always Win, and I don't know what's going on with Activision, but I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Now, before we get into today's discussion, just a little FYI, I haven't played on the console in weeks, and I mean like at least 2 months, maybe even 3 months. And this is the very first time I've ever played this map, so you'll see I'm very unsure of myself. My accuracy and everything else is off. I've been playing PC for so long, it felt really sluggish to me, but I'm trying to get in the flow of things, so don't be too harsh on this painful gameplay in the background here. So we all know that Infinite Warfare is coming out, and if you get the Digital Deluxe or the Legacy version, you get the remastered Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. The question I ask myself is, why is Activision including Modern Warfare in it? Am I happy for it? Yes, Call of Duty 4 was the first multiplayer Call of Duty that I played, and I absolutely loved it. It's what, stirred the fires in me and made me realize how much I love online multiplayer shooter games. Now, the main reason, the fundamental reason underlying that trumps every other possible explanation as to why they would include a remastered version is money. They want to increase the sales. They've been on a downward slope since Modern Warfare 3. If you look at any of the numbers, the sales numbers, it peaked at Modern Warfare 3 and has been going down ever since, with the lowest it's been in years with Advanced Warfare. And when I'm talking about money or sales, I'm not talking about the amount of revenue generated per unit, because let's face it, with the Legacy or Digital Deluxe, at a minimum $100 per pop, like per unit, that's a lot of money coming in. I'm talking about increasing the fan base again, the number of units being sold. And it's no secret that over the years, there's been a decline in the number of, I guess, old school or OG gamers from the COD 4 days that have given up on the franchise. And we see that reflecting in the actual global sales numbers of the franchise since Modern Warfare 3. I'm not here to bash Activision. As a matter of fact, I'm grateful that they actually listen. With all the petitions and all the videos requesting remastered version of COD 4, even Modern Warfare 2, they actually did it. I just question their motives or what they're trying to accomplish by including that. And like I said, I'm grateful that they're including it. As a matter of fact, I hope that the Call of Duty 4 remastered version gets more action on it than Infinite Warfare. I truly do. Now, it's just my opinion and completely guessing here, but I would imagine that, Activision is hopeful for two things to happen here. One, to attract those old school or OG gamers that have left the franchise since, Call of Duty 4, maybe Black Ops, maybe it was Modern Warfare 2, but in the direction that they were going after Call of Duty 4, which, futuristic, way more kill streaks, way more perk system, way more complication, and going away from that sort of focus on gun skill or gunplay. And if they can get those OG gamers to come back in to play, a non-hacked version of Call of Duty 4 multiplayer, which I'm really looking forward to, maybe, just maybe, they'll play enough of the game sessions in Infinite Warfare to like the game. This is what worries me, though. If that is their plan, then maybe, just maybe, they don't update the engine for Call of Duty 4. I don't know how they're going to do that with upgraded textures and everything like that, but, they leave the weapons the same in terms of balancing, the perks the same, the kill streaks. They're just upgrading the textures. But if they don't upgrade the actual engine in it and how well and how smooth it plays now in comparison to, back, the original Call of Duty 4, which I just played last week, believe me, it is way more sluggish. It is very different in terms of fluidity of Call of Duty 4 in comparison to even Black Ops 3 right now. Like, it's night and day difference. If they don't upgrade that engine, I don't know. I'm questioning. I'm wondering if they're doing that to say, okay, here's the old version. Let's bring the OG old school guys coming back in here, play their Call of Duty 4, and maybe they'll see just how amazingly smooth the new engine is, that they're like, you know what, this isn't actually too bad. I don't know if they're hopeful for that. I don't know if that's going to happen, because, the gameplay and the smoothness is only one thing. The wall climbing, the perk system, the complication, that's all part of it. I don't know really what Activision is up to. I don't know if they're doing it to say, hey, this is what you asked for, look at it. Look how much better the new one is. Maybe they're thinking that. Maybe they think they can bring the OG guys, some of those OG guys back in. The other crappy part of that is all the new gamers. And you know what? If you love Advanced Warfare, if that was your first game, if you're coming in a Black Ops 3 and you love all this crazy motion and the kill streaks and everything, and that's what you like, you are probably not going to like Call of Duty 4. And especially if they keep that old feel to it, the old engine in it, you're gonna be like, what is this crap? Why did they even like this? I think it's unfair because it's not really what we want. It's not just, you know, the sluggish. It's not necessarily to do with the motion or whatever in the engine. It's to do with everything, the overall picture. It's the perk system. It's the fact that there's only 3 kill streaks, so people aren't camping. They're not waiting for that chopper gunner or the wraith or whatever it else, you know, is in the game. They're focusing on winning. They're focusing on gun game. That's what we OG old school gamers want. We want good maps, you know, decent weapons, although, you know, let's argue that maybe they weren't balanced the greatest. M16 red dot, you know what I mean? Anyway, you know, it's the whole package. And I'm worried if they're doing it, they're like, oh, you guys wanted this? You want to petition this? Fine, here it is. Look how crappy it is in comparison. All the new people, if they don't change it, I guarantee you they're going to struggle with it. They're not going to like it that much. I'm hopeful that they're going to change the actual engine in it. Because if they don't, this experiment could be Activision slapping us in the face without us even knowing it. The other possibility is that Activision is doing a test to see if going back to simpler times, you know, would actually help boost sales. You look at games like Counter-Strike, very, very simple, super competitive, hundreds of thousands of people playing it all the time. There's no perks, there's no kill streaks, they don't change anything, there's hardly any maps really on that, and yet people play it in the hundreds of thousands every single day. It doesn't need to always change, it doesn't need to be complicated. You know what I mean? Going back there, maybe, just maybe, if Call of Duty 4 is super successful, maybe they'll go and they'll create a new Modern Warfare, and they'll go in the opposite direction. And maybe, just maybe, they'll get all those OG people back on and Call of Duty will blow up again.